Hi Greeshma, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. So, firstly, many congratulations on clearing your KAPS exam. How are you feeling right now?
Actually, I'm feeling really happy because I wasn't expecting this result, but yeah, I'm really happy. I was nervous before the results, like seeing the results, and for the past few days as well. But seeing the results, it really made me happy. So yeah, I'm really happy actually.
Okay. And do you have, any realizations about this being the last KAPS attempt and then later it will be OPRA? You ever thought about that?
Actually, so the funny thing is, like, I didn't know about the CAPS exam at all. So the CAPS wasn't in my mind until August. So August was the time that my one of my friend, she's in like Australia. So she said like there's an exam called CAPS and it's like an Australian exam. So you really should give it a try. So that's the time that I realized, okay, maybe I will give it a try because I've been living in Canada for the last 6 years, and I'm like, I don't want to do this winter more. Like Canadian winter is like really bad. So I thought, okay, maybe migrating to Australia is really good. So maybe before that, I will give the exam. If I'm gonna pass, then it's good. But if I'm gonna fail, then maybe I will stay in Canada as well. So that's the time that I realized, okay, I need to give it a CAPS exam. So that's when I heard about Elite as well. So yeah, I like that's the time like when I joined the classes as well. So that's when Harigama and Arif sir said that this will be the last caps. That I'm like, okay, I'm right on track. So this is like the god sign or something that I should give the caps exam a try. So yeah, it was good actually, writing the exam and all the path, and like all the classes and everything. It was amazing. Yeah, it was really good.
Okay, really happy to know about that. So Grishma, tell me more about yourself. Like, where are you from? Where did you study your pharmacy? When did you graduate?
Yes, so I'm from Kerala, which is the southern part of India, and I studied Bachelor's of Pharmacy from Kerala as well, from the Kerala University, and I passed out in 2017. Right after my pharmacy graduation, I moved to Canada. So here I studied like an extra, like a pharmacy graduate course for the 2 years. So after that, I've been residing in Canada for the last 6 years, and I'm working as a pharmacy coordinator. So that's my pretty much my background.
Okay, okay, Grishma. Also, you said you discovered elite expertise. So I would like to know more about that. What made you, choose us, and how did you?
Yes. So I had couple of my seniors who wrote the exams, and they are right now in Australia. So when I first thought about this whole process, so I didn't know Elite expertise at all. So I reached out to them and I asked them which would be like the best way for me to like know all about this. Like I really do want the coaching because I don't think I could crack the exam just by myself. So I don't have that much trust in myself. So I thought, okay, I will ask like further assistance as well. So I reached out to them and they said like, Elect expertise, they are the best because they both of them they did the cleared their like the CAPS exam through Elect expertise, and that they like Harika moms and Arif sir's teaching method is like amazing. So they said you should really give it a try and you will definitely pass it. So I'm like, okay, I didn't had a second thought as well. That's the main thing. I'm like, okay, I'm all in. So yeah, I registered for the course, and yeah, right now I'm here.
Okay. Okay, so can you tell me about the whole journey that about the CATS exam? How were you feeling during the exam? How were you feeling when you were preparing for it, when you were revising for it? Tell me more about.
Yes. So it is like, so just like I said, I discovered this whole process in August. So by that time, the classes have or has already started. So I was like really behind on it. So when I like actually thought about, okay, I registered the course and everything, but I haven't started the like studying. I mean, I haven't studied because I was also working at the same time. So for me, and there's like a huge time zone between Australia and Canada, so it's not at all possible for me to do the live classes as well. So also I'm working as a full time as well here. So it was like really a big challenge for me. And I was also really behind. I think like I was when I first started studying and first when I started doing all the classes, I think I was behind 15 lectures, if I'm not wrong, 15 or 20 lectures. So I like genuinely started my like studying, proper studying, by the, I would say, September, mid September. That's the time that I started like genuinely started studying. Till that time I was like I was figuring out how would I approach this whole process, like the classes, my work, and every single thing. So right after I'm coming from my like my job and everything, I will go here, I will come here, and I will be like opening my laptop and everything, and I will go through the recorded versions. So I clearly remember whenever I was getting like a day off, I will go like from starting from the morning to like night, I will go through like 2 3 lectures at the same time, just for me to be catch up with the lectures and everything. So eventually I did, so that's like a great thing. And Harika mams and Arif sirs did like motivation classes, they were so good. So I was like, whenever I feel depressed and I'm like, whenever I think like I can't do it, that's the time I'll be like, I need some motivation. So that's the exact time that I will be like, okay, I need some motivation. And there's like Harika ma'am and Arif sir giving all this motivation, and I'll be like, okay, I think I can do it. So yeah, so it was, the whole process was really good, even though it was a bit challenging for me, but yeah, I eventually did it.
I'm really happy for you, Grishma. Also, as you said, you passed out in 2017. That must be like
Yes.
there is quite some gap, and you joined, you know, in August. So, do you have any tips or any messages for somebody that is, that is having a lot of gap or have joined late?
Yes, I would say don't worry at all, because I was feeling the exact same thing. Like I didn't had like any basics. Like my basics was zero. Like if someone was gonna ask me like what's that antibiotic, I'm like, what is antibiotic? That was a situation for me, because I didn't have like zero basic knowledge. Like I completely forgot all my basics. So luckily Arif's sir and Harika ma'am, they were teaching the basics so good that I was like, there was situations where I didn't even like need to go back to the lectures like second time, because I was so good with that basics. So I will tell like whoever is asking me for recommendation, I would say, okay, go for the light expertise, because even though if you don't have any basics, they will teach you and you will get it. That's the only that's the only thing that I'm gonna say. Like basics, nothing to worry about, because I was in the same page. I know how they feel, how they are feeling. So yeah, that's the only thing that I could say.
Okay, thank you so much, Grishma. I would like to know more about, the strategies you have followed to clear the exam. How did you go about it?
Yes, so I would say like yes, Harika ma'am and Arif sir always tells to go through the lectures 2 or 3 times. I would say for me personally, it was not possible because, like I said, my time zone was completely different and I was working full time. So I didn't have like a partner or like my family up here to support me. So that was like a whole different scenario for me. So what I did was like, I made like all the printouts like way before the classes. So I will go through the lectures for the first time, and I will make notes. Like I will, whenever Harika ma'am or Arivisa is saying, okay, this is important, I will be like, okay, I'm highlighting this right now, because there's no way that I can go back to the lecture again, because I don't have that much time for me. Also, I was really behind on the classes, so I will always make sure that I am making notes. And also had like a notebook as well, where I will be making like another separate note. Like whenever it's saying when ma'am or sir is saying that okay, this is important, I will make another note saying that okay, this is very important, this is important, but I only need to go through like maybe like once in a week or two, but this one I need to go through every single day. So that's the thing I did, because I didn't had that much time. That's the only way that I could crack it, and that really helped me because a week before the exam, I went through all those notes, and it was like a book. I went through the whole book the last week of my exam, and I was so clear about it. I am like, okay, I'm good that I did it, because I don't need to go through all these PDFs or all these printouts or all these classes, because I have the important things in my hand. So that's how I did it. So I think it is really helpful for me, and I believe it will be helpful for others as well.
Okay, that's a really unique approach, Grishma. I would also like to know why did you choose Australia while you were already like you have a background in Canada? What made you choose
Yeah.
Australia?
So I would say Canadian. So Canadian pharmacy, it's like bit strange, and pharmacy qualification, like to become a pharmacist here, it's like bit strange, and it's like the process is really difficult. So that's one of the thing. Also, like I said, I've been here for the last 6 years. So initially it was good actually, but right now I'm in the situation that I don't need to go through this winter, because the winter here is horrible. So I'm like, I need to be somewhere where it's like little bit I can see the sunlight and all. So I need like a change of scenery mostly. So
Okay.
that's one of the thing, and the other thing is like the whole process, because at the end of the day I'm a pharmacist. I need to be a pharmacist.
Hmm.
So I think like Australia would be like and I also heard about the Australian healthcare system. So it is way much better than Canadian healthcare. So I thought, yeah, Australia would be like a better opportunity for me than Canada. So that was one of the basic main thing actually.
Oh, okay, Grishma. Also, I would like to know what were the thoughts running in your mind while you were giving the exam? How did elite expertise help you during, you know, you were giving the actual exam?
Yes. So while giving my exam, I would say, uh, so the last 2 3 classes that ma'am and sir took, those were very crucial. Those were like very very crucial for me, because whatever questions they asked on the exam, it was the exact same thing that ma'am and sir were saying on the previous 3 or 4 classes. So it was like, I'm like, oh my god, I know the answer. So without even a second thought, I'm like, I know the answer for this question, for this question, for there were questions that I didn't understand as well. But most of the questions, those were like the answers was discussed in the last 3 days, like right before the exam. Sir and ma'am discussed those answers and questions, so I know it. So it was really crucial for me. So during exam, I was like, while doing giving my first paper, I was like so confident. I'm like, I'm gonna crack this first paper, I know it. But the scenario was different for the second paper because I didn't get enough time. Because I know that I sir and ma'am was all you like they told me, like, not me, like for the whole group thing, was like, you shouldn't spend like more than like 2 minutes for the calculation. But unknowingly I spent way more time on the calculation, and they lost track of time as well. So by
Okay.
the end of my exam, like not the exam, when I looked, I think there was like 25, 30 more questions for me, and I only had 30 minutes left. So I skipped. You should, like, I was really nervous about it, because I flagged all my calculations, every single calculations, and I just went straight ahead to all the questions. And I came back to the calculations again, and there were calculations that sir and ma'am was talking about. So even though without a second thought, I know the answer, because I don't need to do the calculation, because sir and ma'am already discussed those questions. So there were questions like that as well. So yeah, during exam, all I could hear was ma'am and sir's voices. That's it. That's the exact same thing I experienced.
Okay, okay, Grishma. Also, there might have been a few topics that you might have not been very confident about. So, how did elite expertise help you overcome that, you know, fear or worry, I would say?
um uh, to be honest, I was, yeah, that there were topics that I wasn't confident, like, but the thing was like, by the end of the like by the time that we were approaching towards the exam, even though we were not confident enough, ma'am and sir will always make sure that even though you are not understanding these things, like maybe you are not, so we are gonna give you like few questions that will help you to memorize the questions and answers. So that's how like there were like the microbiology, for example. It was like I didn't had time to go through microbiology a lot. So what ma'am did was, ma'am, for the I think towards the end of the, yeah, during the revision classes mainly, she was discussing. Ma'am was discussing like the questions, like the microbiology questions, just the microbiology questions and answers, just those questions and answers. And trust me when I say this, those questions and answers were the only ones that I could give, because I only know that those questions because I don't know anything about microbiology. And those whatever questions I got from microbiology was the exact same thing ma'am was teaching us. So I was confident about those things, because even if they were going to ask more deeply about any other topics, I wouldn't. Because I don't know about those things. But yeah, ma'am and sir was like really on point about those things. Like, okay, you only need to remember these things. You don't need to go through things. Like, even though if you're not understanding things. So yeah, that was pretty much helpful for me.
Okay. So, like, you mean to say the revision classes helped you a lot, right?
Yes, definitely. Don't miss the revision classes. That's the only thing that I could say to future students. Don't miss it, because like I would say 90% of the questions are gonna come from the revision classes.
Okay. So, Grishma, to sum up with like just an overview about how you were practicing. If there's any tips you want to give to future opera aspirants, to crack the exam.
I would say like, don't be nervous. I know being nervous is totally normal. I was in that situation. I know many of the students will be like, okay, I can crack it because I'm working full time and I don't have someone to rely on. It was the same thing for me, and I'm living in the exact different time zone as well. So don't, because I'm in the same boat as you guys. Uh, you don't worry about it, because ma'am and sir is like really there for you, and even the group, WhatsApp group, even if you have like questions, there is like a chance of people in the group who know the answers for those questions. Even if though like ma'am and sir, if they are gonna like if they can't see the message or if they can't see the questions, there will be like other students who know the answers. They are going to help you a lot. So don't worry, like your basics or whatever your questions, and don't worry about it. You're gonna pass, because I passed it. I don't know how, but it happened. But yeah, so
Okay, Grishma, that must mean a lot to people that are having second thoughts about it. Okay, so to wrap up with, do you have any message for Harika ma'am or Arif sir or the whole team? What would you like to send?
I would say I'm really thankful. Like I'm really thankful that my seniors recommended me allied expertise, because I don't have words, and my basics right now it's so clear, because Zara ma'am always makes sure that you have that clear concept and clear basics about what you are like what you know about all these things. So I'm really thankful that I chose allied expertise without a second thought. And Harika ma'am and Arif sir, they're awesome. Like I wish them like whole happiness and success in their life, and the whole allied expertise team as well. Because whenever I think I had like a meeting with Riley as well, she was also like really giving all these motivation classes, like all these motivation inspirational, like every single thing, like even though like a whole elite expertise team as well. Like whenever you are having these issues with their laptop or like any other server issues or any other motivation, and like if you need motivation, that team is always there. So I'm like, you guys are doing like the great job. And yeah, I wish like really, I wish success to everyone. That's the only thing that I could say. Yeah, I'm really happy for whatever you guys are doing.
Okay, thank you so much, Grishma. That really means a lot. And Elite Expertise is happy to have you in the family. So thank you so much for your time and the interview that you gave us. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was really nice talking to you, Grishma.
Yeah, it was really nice to talk to you as well.
See you then. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.